Golf Channel's exclusive coverage of the LPGA Tour is presented by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
Final round of the Drive-On Championship, Reynolds Lake Oconee. We had 1.2 inches of rain overnight. It softened up the golf course. Ali McDonald leading heading into the final round. First time she's led going into the final day of an LPGA event in her 5-year career. Tom Abbott alongside the major champ Karen Stupples, watching McDonald an early birdie.
Well, we saw her make quite a few long ones yesterday as well, so keeping that club on fire.
That's a 2-shot lead. How about Ariya Jutanugarn? Started the day 5 back. This was at the 6th.
And from not an easy spot.
Knocks it in the hole.
Lucky that flag was there. That had some more movement to it.
Had made 2 birdies already to that point, so that got her to 12 under par and just 2 shots back. The very next hole, a birdie putt for Jutanugarn.
Really, her putting stats off the charts this week.
Hasn't won for over 2 years, and maybe a come-from-behind victory on the cards. That got her to within 1, but this was just a few moments ago at the 9th, her second.
The ball was above her feet. Little overcompensation to not pull it.
And it goes into Lake Oconee. She would make a double bogey. That's her 4th double bogey of the week, and she's 3 shots back at 11 under par. So this is how things stand right now. McDonald with that 2-shot lead, Danielle Kang and Bianca Pagdanganan at 12 under par, 2 behind, right in the mix. And we will go out to the golf course, to the par 3 8th. And we're live with Ali McDonald, myself and Karen Stupples here in the booth, along with Jim Gallagher Jr. out on the golf course, Gail Graham and Jerry Foltz, who is following this final 3 ball.
Downhill par 3 with a hole location that doesn't look intimidating, but tough to get it close to. Just over a ridge in the green. Everything that gets over that ridge is going to run past at 192 yards. That's a 4-iron. Coming in high, maybe a little soft, just right. It lands right into the slope.
Yeah, hit a really good one here yesterday, and maybe will be a birdie here today once again for Ali McDonald as she tries to win for the very first time on the LPGA Tour. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly presents the race to the CME Globe from Greensboro, Georgia. It's final round coverage of the LPGA Drive-On Championship at Reynolds Lake Oconee. Well, Lake Oconee has provided a gorgeous backdrop for the LPGA Tour this week. The Great Waters course, the most famous of the 6 courses at Reynolds Lake Oconee. It first opened back in 1992 and then reopened a year ago after a renovation. There are no fans on site this week, but plenty have managed to watch the action from the water as they've pulled their boats in to see the leaders on the back 9. Only one of the holes is not viewed from the water on that back 9, so as the final group heads there this afternoon, I think the atmosphere is going to be fantastic. Well, let's meet today's featured group presented by Eurofins, Safer at Work.
Hi, I'm Danielle Kang, and I reside in Las Vegas, Nevada. And one fun fact you don't know about me is that I drink chocolate milk every single day.
Hi, I'm Bianca Pagdanganan, and I'm from the Philippines, and I love playing Call of Duty Mobile on my phone for 4 hours a day.
Hi, I'm Ali McDonald. I'm from Fulton, Mississippi, and I had 2 double eagles in the same week when I was in 8th grade.
Today's final group, the featured group, presented by Eurofins, Safer at Work. Great community spirit here at Reynolds Lake Oconee, and many of the families have supported the LPGA Tour with open arms this week. We've seen lots of signs and posters dotted around the place welcoming the players. And there's a lot on the line for the players on the golf course. this is what would happen with a win. 6th career victory for Danielle Kang. She would become a 3-time winner this season. Be the first win for Allie McDonald. She would also be the first player on the LPGA Tour to win from Mississippi State. No player from Mississippi State has ever won on the PGA Tour either. And then Bianca Pagdanganan in her first year on the LPGA Tour, trying to win and become the 2nd player from the Philippines to win on the LPGA Tour. Jennifer Rosales was the first, and she won here in Georgia, just up the road in Atlanta. But welcome to our coverage inside our booth here by the 18th hole, which has provided a fantastic backdrop, a fantastic closing hole for this week. And we should say thank you to the LPGA Tour for putting this together in such short notice. Just 60 days ago, they had the first conversation here with the folks at Reynolds Lake Oconee to bring an LPGA Tour event to their community, and they have made it happen. And we are in for a fascinating final day. A quick note on Area Jutanagan, who is trying to win for the first time in over 2 years. She hasn't had a top 10 in now 12 months on the LPGA Tour, and this is a player who won 5 times in 2016 and graced the top of the Rolex Player of the Year rankings that year. She also won the race to the CME Globe in 2016, did the same again in 2018. But over the last 12 months, her game has really suffered. Maybe she will be able to bounce back and get it done today. And what about those 3 players in the final group? 3 very differing stories. We've talked a lot about Allie McDonald and her pursuit of that first LPGA Tour victory. She's from Mississippi. She says she feels very comfortable here in the South playing in Georgia. It's the first time that the Tour has played in this state in some 14 years. Danielle Kang, who in my opinion is the best player in the world right now with the way that she has played this year on the LPGA Tour, certainly since the restart. And Bianca Pagdanganan, who a lot of people are talking about with the way that she hits the golf ball. But it's not all about the length for Bianca Pagdanganan. She has the game to win out here, and all parts of her game are strong. Any player who can win out here has the game to do it. Jerry, watching Danielle Kang here for birdie.
A little bit down the hill initially, then it levels out, actually goes back up the hill with the hole, swinging right a bit. 4-iron from the tee, nearly took the flagstick out of the hole. And that leaves a little work.
She was frustrated yesterday with the way she played, and we saw that in her reaction to some of the shots. Still managed to get it round a couple under par, so just gives you an indication of where Danielle Kang is with her game right now, and that's sometimes a good indicator is how bad the bad shots are and how bad the bad rounds are. And when they're still under par, it means you're in pretty good shape. I think you've had a lot of fun watching Bianca Pagdanganan, haven't you, Jerry, over the last day or so?
I think everybody viewing has had a lot of fun watching her. So many comments through social media about the incredible talent and potential that she has. I've seen some some screen captures of her action at address where her left foot is actually off the ground. And the funny part is it doesn't look like she's swinging hard, but she is. And today, proudly wearing the colors of her alma mater, University of Arizona. Straight looking putt, a little right at the end.
Looks pretty good. Needs a bit more pace.
Saganda now at the 9th. Second shot here. Whole location on that back portion of the green. Ball a little bit above her feet. Started just a little left. That far left. Good looking shot there. Under 1 under on the day at 11 under, just 3 shots back. Good chance for birdie as we go back to 8.
And Allie McDonald
to extend her lead, her caddy Camper Dan Campbell has explained to me. He said, "Want to know why we get along so well? She hasn't let me read a putt in 4 years." Takes complete ownership of her short game as part of her coaching that Jim knows so much about. Looks like she's aiming it just at the left side of the hole. She hit it. Oh.
Moved at the end. Par for Allie. Pretty solid over the first 8 holes as she's trying to get it done for the first time, leading for the first time overnight into the final round of an LPGA event. 1 under for the day, and at the moment a 2-shot lead. And now Danielle Kang for par.
Just a bit outside of 3 feet, getting her full attention. Obviously not a lot of break after having watched it roll by. But she did, late in the round yesterday, miss one of a similar length. Well, just past the middle of the round.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a strange phase with her putting yesterday and was started to pull them, but she made an adjustment. She realized what she was doing, and to be able to make that adjustment mid-round and to kind of trust it and to make a couple of good birdie putts coming down the stretch, Jerry, I thought was very mentally impressive on her part.
Yeah, I agree. And just like what Tom said, when you're bad rounds, you can salvage them to a pretty decent number. That makes a world of difference. Missed 5 fairways yesterday, which is the most she's missed in a round of golf that I can remember.
Okay. They come to the 9th hole. And we'll take a quick break in this, the final round at Reynolds Lake Oconee.
Hey, it's LPGA Commissioner Mike Wan. On behalf of all of us at the LPGA, players, caddies, staff, and partners from around the world, welcome to the LPGA Drive-On Championship here at beautiful Reynolds Lake Oconee. This week is all about everything that makes the LPGA special. Of course, there's LPGA Tours. We run 4 of them. It's also about over 1,800 teaching professionals, women from all over the world teaching amateurs and pros this great game. It's about the nearly 12,000 LPGA Amateur Golf Association members playing nationally, regionally, and locally, tied together to the LPGA. And of course, it's about LPGA USGA Girls Golf, getting more young women to this game than ever before in history. All of these things are what make the LPGA so special. We want to say a special shout out to MetLife, to Danielle Communities, and of course to my friends and my neighbors right here in Reynolds for putting on this incredible event and giving us this world-class stage for some of the best players on the planet. We hope you, our fans from around the world, enjoy the LPGA Drive-On Championship, and we hope you continue to drive on.
This has been a special place. Now Allie McDonald here at the 9th. Trying to avoid those bunkers on the left. Plays downhill about 15, 20 yards. Toughest thing about here is the second shot. Side hill lies. Been driving the ball great, but that one might have got away from her.
Well, and a really nice design feature too on this hole. You have the bunkers down on the left where the flattest lie is. If you play out safe to the right, you can get the ball above your feet quite heavily.
Remember Saganda now for a chance for birdie. Is to get to -12. Needs to break left. Actually went right. So she'll make the turn 1 under par. 11 under, just 3 back. That's the club that's got to work for her today. Has been hitting the ball fantastic. Let's go up to 10.
This is the 3rd shot for Ariya Jutanugarn.
Well judged for the distance, but a little left of the hole. And after that double, she just wants to not make any more mistakes like that. Or she's going to leave herself with a little bit of a tester for par.
Yeah, she knows. Really not happy. There have been a lot of mistakes this week for Ariya Jutanugarn. Time now for our course setup presented by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
Absolutely stunning golf course here, designed by Jack Nicklaus. Joys of fairways, always a joy to play from for any player of any ability. Greens, Bermuda grass, a little bit of a challenge for the players, and of course the rough. Even though it's not that long, being Bermuda has caused a few issues for these players this week. Big high five to the golf course superintendent, Brandon Hayes, done a fabulous job out there in short notice getting this course ready for the LPGA Tour.
And also this morning, getting it ready for this final round, talked to the on-site meteorologist. He said we were really unlucky here last night. Places 5 to 10 miles away had just half an inch of rain. We had 1.2 inches of rain. So that's always a nightmare scenario for the ground staff, having to come out and prepare the golf course after that much rain. Allie McDonald walking down the 9th hole. We talked to her yesterday after that 3rd round. We talked to her about handling the overnight lead and the advice she has received from those closest to her.
speaking with my husband, who is very familiar with golf and has done a lot of mental training himself, just kind of made me acknowledge that I was going to feel uncomfortable at times, that I was in a position that I might be unfamiliar with. So I'm just going to do everything that I did last night leading into tomorrow, and that's just go to bed knowing that I'm going to get up and try to execute my game plan, which has worked so far, and just believe that what I'm doing is perfectly fine. I don't have to be anything more than that.
Getting the expectations in check, and it seems like she has them right where she needs them.
I mean, it's great advice. You know, doesn't have to be anything more than she is. And I think the players that win are the ones that play their final rounds being very comfortable with who they are on the golf course. They're not trying to be Bianca hitting it 300 yards. They're not trying to be Danielle Kang, you know, who's intense. They're just being themselves. And
you got to get yourself comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. And I think that's the key. That's what Charlie was saying. Kang will be first. Charlie Ewing, of course, her husband, is the assistant coach at Mississippi State. He played at Vandy, very good player, and that's some great advice.
Well, happy birthday, Allie McDonald. She's 28 today.
Wished her happy birthday today.
Tuesday, Danielle Kang turned 28, but that's kind of where the similarities end when you look at the tail of the tape for these two players going head-to-head, Jim. And Danielle Kang, in the last 3 or 4 seasons, she's really become one of the best players in the world.
She has. I think Allie's trying to get to that. When I look back at her college, at 43 events, she had 24 top 10s and 35 top 25. So a great college career doesn't always mean you're going to get that instant success on the LPGA. She tries to get her first win.
They are playing
10.
Yeah, they're playing live, clean, and place today, but obviously a bit of casual water issue there. Area Jutanagan for par at 10.
Pretty important putt if she wants to contend later in the round.
She did make it.
Well, her putts per green in regulation stat this week, she's at 1.59 for this week. Her season average is 1.86. So she is getting the ball rolling very nicely on these greens.
I said casual water. That's what is it in the new rules?
Temporary water.
Temporary water. Very good. 100%.
Yeah. You get an A.
Get an A for that.
It's the only A I've ever got in my life, I think. Just ask my coach at Florida State.
Danielle will be first.
Took the temporary water relief, and then of course you from there get to do your lift, clean, and place of a club length semicircle as well. So no blame on the lie here. 151 is what it'll be to the hole, which looks to be a little bit out on an island by itself, but you have some room between the water and the flagstick today to not be too intimidated. You're just obviously going to favor left of the hole if you can.
Yeah, she had a wonderful shot here yesterday, drove it in that right rough. She missed a good opportunity at one from about 5 or 6 feet, but she settled herself down. She's just 2 back. For her to make a run, she's got the experience. She's got to rely on that.
Well, especially what she did in Toledo in the marathon when she was, what was it, 5 back with 6 to play and wins.
Yeah, she's kind of tugged a little bit, but that's going to be okay. Got the fringe, be able to use the putter from there. Come out of there a little bit hot. Sometimes that happens when the zoysia, especially with a little bit soft, maybe a little moisture in there. Great background. The boats are coming in. Actually, Jerry Alley's got a pretty good angle, although the lie looks halfway decent.
The lie is fantastic. An 8-iron, 144 yards. You didn't get to play lift, clean, and place here, but I don't think you can place it in a better lie in the so-called rough than this. And the angle is fantastic. Takes most of the water out of play from a line perspective. But again, she is going to definitely try and keep this left of the hole a little bit.
Yesterday had hole locations on the front right, so if you're trying to aim a little left of it, still went right at it.
Yeah, just a little bit turning over. Should be nice.
A little bit unlucky. Not too bad. Gives yourself about 25 feet for birdie. It's a safe shot, smart shot. That's what you're trying to do. Can't really go at that hole location. You can always tell what it's going to do out of the rough. But Allie McDonald with a 2-shot lead. We'll be right back.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Reynolds Lake Oconee and by Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable.
This is for every girl who hears people say she won't make it, but refuses to listen. For every girl who thinks not about what she has to lose, but about what she has to gain. This is for every girl who doesn't look like everyone who's come before, but may look like those who will follow. This is for every diamond in the sky. This is for every girl.
There's a look down at the 9th. Great view. McDonald with that 2-shot lead. Trying to make the turn. Got a chance for birdie. Kang has a chance as well. It's been an exciting second 9. Bianca Pagdanganan now here at the 11th. Just an iron in her hand, Gail. Just left of those bunkers like the key.
Good job. Pretty quick follow through.
Pretty
stopped it quick.
Yeah, confident swing.
Yep.
I think with that flag down on the left side of the screen today, the tee shot down the left side
Is it better?
Yeah, gives the players more options.
A little more downhill lie, but it's a lot better as you come in there. It looks like it's way out there in the corner. Should we take a look there? Back over to 9. McDonald now for birdie.
Yeah, Danielle Kang is called for a ruling, so she's going to wait. She's got some sand on the fringe, which you're not allowed to remove, but there's one big clump right on the seam of the edge of the green that's dead in her line that she needs an official to tell her is okay to move. You can remove the sand on the green, not off it, as a loose impediment. Allie now with a pretty good look here, turning right gently the whole way. Start a little right of the line. Not much.
Pretty good speed, just a little harder, but it's all right. Trying to make 4 after you drove it where she drove it. Solid first 9. She'll shoot 1 under that 9, 14 under total. Looks pretty comfortable. I saw her this morning, saw her parents this morning, and she was ready to go. Bianca will be next. Always a rare combination to be a big long hitter like Bianca is and really a good putter, Jerry.
Yeah, very good putter. Statistically a good putter. Putting stroke, I love it. It's got a little bit of short backswing and a lot of acceleration. Never really struggles with the speed. And she did, like I mentioned yesterday, make one of the most clutch putts in NCAA history at Oklahoma State en route to their national title.
She sure did. She had a lot of good putts yesterday, just didn't get them to go, Karen. But she stayed patient. I think that was the key for her.
I think that as we'll see her obviously the remainder of the round and throughout the course of her LPGA career. I mean, she's so confident.
Well, Jerry mentioned it. Here is that putt. This was in the stroke play portion back in 2018. They were trying to get into the match play. She had to make that for an eagle to get into a playoff, to make the match play. And of course, they went all the way through. They ran the table and they ended up winning with Haley Moore making the winning putt to seal the title for Arizona. Of course, Haley Moore playing on tour now. She's here this week. And Bianca Pagdanganan, part of that team, that she will never forget that eagle putt that she made to help her team en route to victory.
Danielle should be next now. Should be ready to go.
She is. That clump of sand, she was able to place her tee and finger in right on what the rules official determined to be the edge of the green, which got most of it out of the way, but there's still some right there. And I think right now it's just a bit of a distraction to her. Plus, this group has already been warned, and this takes a little more time. So knowing in the back of your mind that you're likely going to be put on the clock very soon, this one can get away from you quickly as well, because it's pretty flat putting through this fringe, then downhill to the hole.
Some speed coming out of there. You're right, Jerry. That was really quick. Actually kind of hopped about halfway out of that fringe and kind of got some more overspin.
you can see, I think she's fighting her putter a little bit still. Like she's working really hard.
Area second now.
And Jim, she's on the high side of the fairway, which is an advantage because it's dry. The other two players in the group are down kind of in the valley. It's a squishy lie. She's got 111 to the hole. Needs to carry it, but 105 to get it over the bunker.
The screen was holding earlier. It'll take one bounce and then hold normally.
With 54-degree wedge.
Should stop. There you go. Beautiful shot.
Do.
Yep, actually backed up. Very aggressive, very confident swing. Kang back at 9 for her par to stay 2 back.
And not making it easy on herself right now. But she is pretty darn tough, Jim.
Yeah, she's about as competitive as they get. And I've noticed her, she doesn't really pay attention to the other players when they're putting or whatever. She kind of stays in her own world, which is good.
Or even when they're hitting shots either. Like she won't look at them at all.
So I saw it on the putting green. I hadn't seen her on the sides.
Unless it's a benefit to her to watch the line.
True. Good putt. There's that pesky kayak in the background that I don't want to be on.
You
I
don't
need a
like
motor.
the kayaks, do
Well,
you?
I got to have a motor. I'm just lazy. But Allie McDonald's not. She's got a 2-shot lead. We'll be right back.
2 days after I was born, I was left in a small wooden box near an orphanage. 9 months later, I was adopted by a golf-loving family half a world away. I've always been small. It's what drives me in life and in golf. At girls golf, I learned that even though I am only 4'9", if I worked hard, I could compete with anyone. I may be small, but I'm mighty. I'm Claire Hollingsworth, and I drive on.
And you can support girls like Claire and thousands more in the program by taking part in the Drive On for the Future virtual scramble. And scramble routes can be played between this week and the 15th of November. All the proceeds go to the Renee Powell Fund and the Phyllis G. Meekin Scholarship. Go down to the 10th. The final group has made their way around the lovely clubhouse here. 18th green there on the left, a few hours away from that being the center stage. So they're trying to figure out the wind direction.
Okay. There isn't any.
I was going to say, it's not really, there's hardly been a breeze all week, is there?
Yeah, well, we've had maybe a half a club wind on Thursday and Friday, but right now, as an on-course commentator, Gail and I have to get miles away just to talk because everything carries so much, not a breath of wind. Straight away uphill, par 4. Plays as a dogleg right for Danielle. She and most players can't carry that middle fairway bunker. That is a really nice position there.
Safely away. Going to hear a few applause and a few cheers on this back nine. It's been a long time since we've heard that at an LPGA event, but a lot of the folks who live here come out into their backyards, the back area of their property, and watch the golf and walk along outside of the boundary of the golf course, and then we'll also see the boats as this back nine continues. Now McDonald.
And then the players invited guests and everybody paying attention to all the proper protocols to ensure the safety of everyone. That was a nice looking swing, just right on the technologically extinct screws there.
Yeah. I started playing the game right after the screws. Yeah, on the persimmon.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Think of how short I would be if I had to use the persimmon, Jerry.
Well, Bianca's very first club was a Sam Snead persimmon 4-wood, and she said she just loved the way that thing felt. Her first club her dad ever gave her when she was a young child. That thing's probably shattered by now.
Probably shattered it not long after she started using it with her power.
Yeah, she's into that long.
Even though it's uphill and a 260 carry over that bunker, this ball would still be climbing when it gets there. Oh, goodness. That was just tattooed.
It looked like she wasn't overly happy with it either, but
yeah, miss it flies 280.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to her yesterday about leading that driving distance category on the LPGA Tour, and how much she loves to drive the ball and how much confidence she has with the driver.
I love my driver. I have so much fun hitting it. Like sometimes if I'm not hitting my 3-wood or my hybrid ball, I'm just like, we're just ripping driver throughout this whole round. And I guess it's just the level of confidence that I have. And like you said, I never really noticed that until people actually started telling me that I was a long hitter.
Yeah, she said that she didn't really ever think about it, didn't even know that she hit the ball a long way.
No, and what I do like about, you know, her situation, well, as we're going to go and look about her move now. I mean, obviously, very strong, athletic address position, really quick rotation with the shoulders, but really good extension through the back, and then that really deep hip set with the back, which means that they have to turn a long way and fast through to get her back to impact, left heel off the ground, as most people, left foot even, as most people are doing now anyway.
See a lot of the long drivers.
Yeah.
Area now for birdie here at the 11th.
Good opportunity to get one back.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she just hit it through the break.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Just she needs to just stay in the present and keep giving those opportunities to herself.
Back to 10.
Carlota Segunda for birdie. Carlota with a couple of birdies and a bogey on the front nine. And that wasn't far away. Started the day 3 shots back. Just kind of hanging around, not out of it yet. Let's take a look at where we are this week. First visit to the state of Georgia for the first time in 14 years for the LPGA Tour. Augusta's about 80 miles away. 3 weeks' time we'll have the Masters at Augusta National. The next 3 days we will have the East Lake Cup at East Lake Golf Club, which is just less than an hour and a half's drive from here. 6th annual East Lake Cup with 4 of the best men's teams, 4 of the best women's teams in collegiate golf going head-to-head. The women, it'll be Florida, Ole Miss, Texas, and South Carolina. The men, Texas, they'll be defending Oklahoma, Texas Tech, and Pepperdine. It's all coming up the next 3 days. It starts 3 p.m. Eastern on Golf Channel tomorrow. Danielle Kang first to play.
The numbers right now, judging what little breeze there is and the slope up the hill from the yardage book, says it's about 6 yards more it plays uphill. It's going to be a fair bit of club. 182 is the actual, so playing something close to 190 to a pretty tough total location.
Okay.
Looked like she was going to go after this one.
I believe so. 5 iron is the number.
Danielle Kang, 2 shots back with her second hit of the 10th.
I hit it the way I wanted to.
It looked like she wasn't happy with it, but you heard it. Exactly what she wanted.
That's not a typical reaction, is it?
No. A putt for birdie for Danielle. And now Ali McDonald.
160 adjusted to right at 166.
Perfect.
And once more, positive reinforcement from Camper Dan. Simply say, perfect.
I think it's been crucial for her to have the consistency and having Dan on her back for as long as she has. Working through her trouble with diabetes. I mean, he has to really pay attention to what she's doing energy-wise with that, as well as being able to pick clubs. He's got to be the guy that takes notice of every single little thing about her, and the more familiar he is with it, the better off they are.
That one just crept over the bunker. Now has a good chance for birdie. Ali McDonald, diagnosed with diabetes almost 5 years ago, something that she's going to have to deal with the rest of her life. But she has obviously gotten to a point where she can compete out here comfortably. Now Bianca.
153 and an 8-iron up the hill. Pretty smooth one, I'm guessing. But from an uphill lie, playing uphill, she probably could land this 8-iron past the hole and let it stop immediately or come back. That is just miles in the air.
Getting it to stop very quickly. We'll talk more about her game and what she could do for the way that young people play golf. McDonald leading by 2. Back at the 10th, where Danielle Kang has a putt for birdie.
Been one of the few portions of any green out here where they've placed the holes this week where there's no real change in contour anywhere around the hole. Not to say that it's flat, there's a little subtle contour from basically back right to front left. So this is slightly downhill with a touch of movement to the right, but this is one where you're more used to putting when there's not going over a ridge or across a hill or something.
That was that same move left through the ball that she was fighting yesterday, Jerry.
Yeah, I was standing right behind it. That started 3 feet outside the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she was very frustrated after Saturday's round. And putting a part of that. Bianca Pagdanganan will be next to play. Do you think this way of playing, the fact that she hits it so far, but obviously all parts of her game are very good, do you think it signals a new generation of player?
I kind of hope it does. I kind of hope that she leads the trend in that department, because, you know, a lot of players with Bianca's length come out on the LPGA Tour and then they kind of feel like they have to rein it in to play the courses. You know, the people around them say, oh, you've got to play it to a certain spot, have a certain yardage into the hole. You know, they don't play, you know, just hit it down there and live with it and then move on and just get on with it like Bianca does. And I think once they see somebody do that, like Bianca, I think it might encourage them to go ahead and do it as well.
This for birdie. Just stays outside. So that will be a par. It keeps her at 12 under.
I mean, really, she could be a catalyst, I think, in terms of for women's golf with regards to the distance.
Well, she played 2 years at Gonzaga, and they had an indoor facility, and that's where she said she really worked on trying to get club head speed. And she said she didn't know she was long till the other players told her she was long. And I just have a hard time believing that college players and junior players and kids growing up, young ladies growing up, aren't going to try the same pursuit, because power, strength is an advantage no matter what kind of course you're playing.
Jerry, times are really changing. You know, for the longest time, a lot of women were encouraged to just keep the ball straight, keep it in play, you know, don't go in the rough because you're never going to be strong enough to get out of the rough. Well, times are changing. You can see that the women are strong enough to do just that, and they're being coached in a manner to which distance is becoming more important.
Well, I think that's why it's important to play other sports. Talk to Brian Henninger, who's teaching. He said everyone that hits it long has played a sport where there's some power involved.
Good birdie there for Ali McDonald.
Great stroke right there.
That moves her to 15 under par, and the lead is 3. So power is one thing, but getting it in the hole is crucial, and Ali was able to do that at 10. Let's go to 11.
Here, guys, second here at 11. Got it on the downslope just a little bit. Nice rhythm through the ball there. See if it spins. Oh, yeah. 3 good shots in there. Getting better.
Played on tour for a long time, Jim. Hasn't been able to get into that winner's circle, but had another player with good amateur career.
Back over to 10, and Danielle Kang for par. Just seen Ali McDonald make a birdie, and now this one to stay within 3.
Yeah, and what is this, 3 of this length in a row she's had? This one maybe just right of center. These wear you out mentally.
Yeah, you're not going to win just having these for par on the back 9, are you? You need to make some birdies.
Certainly not going to win if you miss these for par on the back 9.
Yeah. She knows she's got to start doing something. She said she's going to try and be a little more aggressive today. And we'll go to the 12th and the approach by Ariel Jutanagan.
Tom, she's 111 to the hole. It's a squishy one. Doesn't look like she likes it too much.
I didn't like the strike, but it's just fine.
It is.
I think those joys of fairways help when you've had that much rain overnight. Now, part of the redo here that Jack Nicklaus Design Company oversaw. Of course, Jack Nicklaus designed the golf course back in '92. This is the first page of the leaderboard. Great week for Matilda Castron from Finland. She was born in New York to a Finnish family, then moved back to Finland and came over here to go to college and play golf. And she won last week on the Symetra Tour. Pernilla Lindberg, better form from Pernilla. 2018 ANA Inspiration winner Mel Reid, couple under for the day. She struggled in the first half of the round yesterday, kind of played her way out of it. 69 today for Austin Ernst, the winner this year on tour. LPGA will take a 3-week break after this event and then get back to action in Florida.
Catherine Kirk now for birdie to get to -10 within 5. Oh yeah, nice putt. She and Allie McDonald, very good friends. Great look at 11. We'll go all the way back to the tee. You mentioned the East Lake Cup, Tom. South Carolina playing. Well, they won the Alley, which was hosted at Old Waverly this week, actually, beginning of the week. Kind of cool to have a college tournament named after you. That's how much they love her at Mississippi State in Starkville. With 3 wood.
Yesterday, her tee shot got in to hit it about 20 yards farther than she was trying, rolling down that hill and got into a little bit of trouble, but not big trouble. 3-wood here should, with a softer fairway today, presents no problem, and she's given no indication that she's ever going to miss one of these fairways.
I talked to BJ Trolley, our golf swing instructor. He said they had a great practice session last week. He's not surprised she's hitting it well. She's playing with a lot of passion. Now here a guy now for birdie. So that approach is to get 4 under on the day. Pull within 12 under par. Oh, it didn't quite stay up. Sean Lake par. Now Kang will be next.
Didn't watch that very long. Fine, it's really tough to miss this fairway. Ooh, big hop though.
Yeah, that's the first one we've seen actually go forward. On the crown of the downslope.
Looks like that soggy area that Gail was talking about.
Yeah, real soft. Looks like it's so hard off the Zoyjo hit those things, especially if you've got kind of a crazy lie. But this week's aerial coverage is brought to you by Reynolds Lake Oconee. Some great views we've had this week. Appreciate all their help. Pagdanganan now. Looks like fairway wood, maybe that hybrid again.
Yeah, I think it's a hybrid. She could actually reach the green with today's hole location. She'd have a 200-foot putt if she did knock it on.
Gets down on that right side. Next to Kang's ball. So all 3 players catch this fairway. Up 1 to 12.
Area for birdie.
Another good opportunity. A little downhill. Well, she just needs to keep hitting it close and giving herself chances.
Jutanagan got within 1 of the lead on the front 9, but now finds herself 4 back of Allie McDonald. Back with Lydia Ko at the 12th. This for birdie.
Her ball striking better today. And that lets her do that.
Yeah, first birdie since the third hole. You can see a couple of bogeys, a couple of birdies in the first 4 for Lydia. She's at 8 under par now, which is just inside the top 10. As we look down towards the 11th there, Jim.
That's a great view, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of those around here. This whole back nine's so much beauty. Ellie McDonald should be next. Here's the... stats 2017 59th.
Ridge. That's right. It's right here, northeast. Go left to right with a little curve. Yes.
Right between the 2 bunkers.
Yeah.
Just the ridge will take it to the left.
That's a great line.
Bunch of greens in regulation, 59th in 2017 and 2020. She's 10th, so her iron play has definitely improved this season. This week's hit. Today she's hit 8 of 11 greens.
Yeah, going with 9 iron here, and the reason they took so long to just try and figure out the exact plan is because there's not a lot of room back there. You have to be precise. It can cause a little bit of trepidation, and even the player who's really in control of their ball striking. This looks to be nicely done. Oh, just missed getting over the ridge, though.
Yeah, about 6 more feet would have released.
Oh, that could have been a tap-in.
Yeah, I think she's a little disappointed, too. It actually spun a little bit more, hit up and maybe a little bit of a slope. Kang should be next. It looks like it was a little softer down in this part of the fairway, Jerry.
It wasn't where that ball landed. That thing kicked forever, but it is. Yeah, she's walked around looking to see if she can take relief from temporary water, and I think it just wasn't quite wet enough to do so. You don't have to. That's one of the reasons they play lift, clean, and place, so that you can still finish around even when there's water everywhere in the fairways.
So if you're looking at this picture, there's the ridge is right there across the green, and she can use that, the slope, if she wants to. But from this angle, Jerry, and from this distance, I would think she's going to take this right at it.
Yeah, I think so. Just a 3/4 gap wedge, and if you try and use that ridge, you can end up doing exactly what Allie did. Yeah, she did take it right at it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, pretty nicely done.
Yeah, beautiful shot. That's the key. You just got to know how far it's going to carry. You got to trust it. That intense look. I don't know what he's looking for, but hopefully Bianca's not going to be over there. The way she wanted, but still not a bad shot. Gets within about 15 feet, so she and Kang both have a good chance for birdie to maybe get a little closer to Allie McDonald, who has a 3-shot lead right now. We'll be right back. Live at the 11th, Allie McDonald for birdie.
Yeah, if that second shot, as you mentioned, had released about 6 more feet, got to the crest of that hill with any momentum, it literally would have had a chance of going in. This one, she's just going to hit like it's about a 6 or 7 foot putt, slightly uphill for 3 feet and then down the cliff.
Did she?
Oh, yes.
Wow, what a putt.
She's definitely making a claim for this championship.
Well, that's the key, is that putter for her. And she's playing with the intensity I've seen her have since she was a little girl. I mean, this is what she's dreamed about her whole life. This is what she's always wanted to be. She mentioned in her presser, it's not who I am, it's what I do. But this has been a goal of hers for a long, long time. Let's take a look from above. Any doubt? Nope. Beautiful putt. Bianca will be next.
Yeah, when you're doing things like that, fellow competitors and nearest pursuers playing alongside, they start to feel like they have to make everything now. It's like every putt's a must make. It really puts the heat on them.
Did she? Oh, she's had so many good putts the last 2 days. She's trying to stay patient. It's hard, Karen. It's almost like you're trying, like you said, trying so hard, and he just kind of.
Well, again, you know, this is a learning process for her too. You know, this is the first time that you've got a few holes left to play. She knows she's got to make up ground. It's like, what do you do? Do you keep playing your game? Do you push? How do you get through it?
Exactly. Area now at 13, going with iron off this tee.
This is her 2-iron, driving iron. And the trajectory that's on, it's something special. It's going to go for days when it hits the ground.
Yeah, there it goes. And that's on soft fairways. The location on the front portion of the green kind of stays up on the top of that crown. And Danielle Kang now, another good chance for birdie.
Oh yeah, excellent chance. Just right center, right edge putt. Probably got a good teach from both of her fellow competitors.
I think the hardest thing is to try to make the putt. You tend to pull them when you try to force them in there. You're not as fluid with your stroke.
Well, and right in her eye line too. And Danielle tends to see and hear things that maybe other players don't at times in competition. There's a few of the pontoons that are making a slow wake-free exit to get to viewing position again at 14, 17, and 18.
There you go. Good solid stroke. Watch out. We're going to have some fun these last few holes. She's been a little bit more patient. Trying not to fight herself. Nice putt there. Fist bump. I'll head over to the par 5. Walking up that little bit of that slope. Today's her birthday, 28 years old, 5th year on the LPGA. Of course, played her college golf at Mississippi State. Best finish is 3rd at the ShopRite. She actually finished 3rd at Northwest Arkansas, which also has Zoysia fairways. That was a tie for 3rd. Solheim Cup, 1-3-0, was a captain's pick. 2-time first-team All-American at Mississippi State. I think the Solheim Cup experience for her, Karen, has been huge. I think it's a follow-over. I know for me, when I made the Ryder Cup, it gave me that confidence to play on that big stage. I think that's going to help her as she continues on today.
Well, it's been accepted by your peers as one of the best players in America, and that's a player the world of good to be in that company and be in that environment with your country's best.
And you were a captain's pick by one of the best that ever played.
That's the 12th hole. Dogleg right to left, par 5. Beautiful look off the tee here. The tee is back today. They moved it 1 tee box forward yesterday.
Not sure it made it any easier when they put it up there, Tom. There are a few players could have gotten home in 2 if they could hit the fairway, but the fairway's about 2 cart paths in width up there.
That's right. Narrows in, doesn't it?
Right here, you just feel like you have a big open ballpark. If you land it on the right side, it's going to be, I don't think you can hit it in the right rough too easily. There's so much slope.
Pictures, please.
Haven't heard that for a while. As we mentioned already, no fans officially on site here, but the residents and family members, guests are out there watching. The residents staying back outside of the property lines, but they can watch from there.
This one headed toward that right edge, won't get any roll.
And it's going to stay in the fairway because of the soft conditions. A lot of rain overnight. As we take a look at our aerial coverage, brought to you by Reynolds Lake Oconee. It came in after dinner yesterday whilst people were asleep. 1.2 inches of rain dumped on this property, so it was perfect timing. If you're going to have a big rainstorm, it was about as perfect a timing as you could get.
You were in bed quite early because it started about 9 o'clock.
I actually was. It's kind of sad for me to say that on a Saturday night. Danielle Kang.
No, it's not sad these times, so I think we all live with you there. Good tee shot from Danielle.
One's in good shape. Strict protocols for the players during tournament week. They're not allowed to eat outside of their accommodations or in a restaurant. And the players stick to the rules, as you can imagine. It is not like it used to be on tour, but one day it'll be back to normal.
Well, I think we all read that interesting article, Tom, that the most dangerous thing right now in professional sports isn't getting tackled by a linebacker. It's dinner.
Yeah, going out to dinner with your teammates and fellow players. Potentially getting sick and then not being able to compete. That's the worry for athletes and sportsmen and women throughout the globe at the moment. McDonald trying to get it done for the first time on the LPGA Tour. Great birdie at 11. She leads by 3.
Back to the 13th area. Second shot here, Gail.
Jim, 127, 117 to the hole. She's got a 50-degree wedge. Looked like about a 3/4 swing.
You got to get it all the way up there. We can't go by about 5 steps because it goes down in the valley. Yep, good shot.
That's a great shot.
Absolutely. Off that downhill line. Another good chance for birdie.
Players are going to lay up here at the 12th. Looks like McDonald will be the first one to go.
And I think the first day when this played, well, for a while, the hardest hole on the course ended up being the 4th hardest hole on the course. The reason was this is not the easiest layup. You have to hit a pretty precise shot, and you got to get a lot on it. She's some 320 yards to the hole, and you got a little sliver of a fairway up there, and it's pretty much blind where you're trying to land it to get you maybe a scoring club in a wedge. You can be more conservative than that. Then you're playing an uphill blind 7/8 iron to a par 5, which is never any fun.
No, whole location today being on that front. There is a little backstop behind it, so a slightly longer shot into this hole today wouldn't be as bad as on the first day where the flag was all the way tucked left.
That's just about to the crest of the hill and should be wedge or maybe gap wedge in from there.
This is not the first event to be played on Great Waters. It hosted the PGA Professional National Championship back in 2008. Scott Hebert was the winner. Collegiate golf has been played here. Mercer University and Kennesaw State hosting the Linga Longa Invitational. Chris Kirk won it in 2007. The likes of Ricky Fowler, Justin Thomas, Brooks Koepka have all played. And Big Break, the Big Break Invitational in 2014, featuring competitors from past seasons of the show. Let's take a look back at what happened in 2014 at the Big Break Invitational. It was Jay Woodson who led by 1 over Emily Talley heading into the par 5 18th. That was Woodson's 3rd shot on the final hole from that back bunker. The course has been redesigned slightly since that time. And Woodson would have this for birdie to get to 4 under and a 2-shot lead over Emily Talley. So she would have to make an eagle on the final hole playing behind him. It was a mixed competition, of course. Emily wouldn't be able to make an eagle, but she had this for birdie, and it would take her into solo second. 1 shot ahead of Tony Finau and Tommy Gainey. And it was Jay Woodson that ended up taking the title. He's now teaching in Virginia. Emily has retired from competitive golf. She's living in Oslo. And this is how it finished. There you can see Tony Finau and Tommy Gainey were part of it. As I mentioned, Jarena Piller played. Jackie Stolting, who was in the field this week. So too Ryan O'Toole, but she didn't make it to the stroke play portion. And speaking of Tony Finau, he is just inside the top 15 of the Zozo Championship. Coverage today at 5 p.m. Eastern. Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson playing together today. Justin Thomas leading Jon Rahm heading into the final round. Jon Rahm with a chance to get to world #1 today. Now back out to 13.
Area for birdie.
Bit of a slippery putt down the hill.
Oh, she's out of it again.
She hit that hard.
Yeah, she did.
Maybe just a little anxious, holding on a little tight, Jim.
Yeah, I think she's trying to make those putts sometimes, as we mentioned earlier, that just don't hit the same putt you normally would, the same speed you're trying to hit it. There's the 12th hole. Great view there.
I mentioned the Lingalonga Invitational that was played here, the collegiate event. The Mercer women's team will host the Reynolds Lake Oconee Invitational on this golf course next year, so they'll have 2 collegiate events on Great Waters. Mercer is about an hour and 20 minutes from here in Macon, Georgia. It's a good part of the world for golf. We're not that far away from Augusta National. And Great Waters has been ranked as the 2nd best course in the state, behind Augusta National. East Lake, of course, we mentioned that. It's less than an hour and a half's drive from here. Many lovely courses in the Atlanta area.
Well, and what a treat it is for the people that live around here, because you know you can't go and watch a tournament now. Even if they had got tickets to watch the Tour Championship at East Lake, they couldn't have got in to watch. Here they're getting to see championship golf right on the side, right outside their doorstep. It's
or off their boat.
Or off their boat.
There you go.
Well, many of the folks here are lucky enough to go to the Masters, aren't they? And they will not be able to be on site. Patrons this year not allowed at the Masters, as is the case for many events, and they can watch golf right in their back garden here. Let's watch Bianca Pagdanganan and her caddy. It's a good story, Jerry, with her caddy, isn't it?
It is. He's Evans Scholar, product of the Evans Scholar Foundation, and graduated. I took him to Ohio State, graduated with a bachelor's degree in professional golf management. Spent some time at Innisbrook and Toledo, where he's from, as well as Augusta National caddying, and now he says he wants to give this a full-time go. At least on the bag he's currently on, because there's so much earnings potential there. That was from 150 and an 8-iron, and just absolutely flushed it.
I mean, quite a treat for your first ever LPGA bag to be with the longest player on tour.
And he also, I mean, I think he brings, and we were talking about it yesterday, he brings a lot to the game as well, because he doesn't have so much experience that he's going to try and change her. And that's what you were talking about earlier, being able to, pave her own way. Danielle now 27 yards closer. Should be it is a pitching wedge.
Reaction said she'd hit it too far.
Well, she tugged it, and that usually goes a little too far. Not up to her standards by any means.
And Allie McDonald coming off that birdie at 11, birdie at 10.
114 should be a pretty full gap. Well, no, pitching wedge. A little pitching wedge is a signal. I like it.
Definitely going to like it. And the chance for 3 birdies in a row. She doesn't look nervous right now, does she? Doesn't look quite as relaxed as that dog there sitting on the boat. There are dogs everywhere here at Reynolds Plantation. Back at the 12th, Bianca Pagdanganan for birdie.
From the upper tier down to the lower tier, going down at an angle, is going to swing it right. Just a defensive putt here. pretty good looking speed.
Nice touch. Always the mistake to go long. Let's go to the tee at the 14th and Area Jutanagan.
And this hole playing 150 yards today. It's a 9-iron. It's on a great line.
Just over that bunker. And a chance for birdie. Jutanagan back on 11 under, 5 behind. And we'll look down from above at the 12th. And Danielle Kang back down the hill here, Jerry.
Well, believe it or not, it's not really downhill. This whole green slopes in general from right to left. So the initial couple feet will be downhill, then it's pretty level, maybe even slightly uphill. Asking Allie to move her mark, because it's basically directly between her and the hole, and there's not a lot of break in this.
I always used to love that if a player had to get me to move my mark, because that was like a signal for me to say, okay, you need to pay attention because this is going right over your line.
And you really hope they had a good putt.
So it's got to keep that putter moving down her line and not pull it into the left. See that little, she needs to work that little kink out. There's just that little movement to the left that's hurting her right now.
Area for birdie.
The whole right-hand side of this green slopes to the right. So the ball should trickle down to the right.
Good try. Back over to the 12th, and Allie McDonald with another chance for birdie.
Well, and she snuck right in behind the coin when Danielle's ball rolled by, and saw that it wasn't moving right at the end. We give her, the way she's stroking it right now, a free read, and that's a little bit of a dangerous recipe.
This has been a fine performance. You've got to say, the way that she's played here on Sunday. There's no bogeys on the card right now. We're looking at 3 birdies in a row to get it to 17 under par on a 4-shot lead. And it is another birdie. Allie McDonald on her way to victory, potentially here for the first time at Reynolds Lake Oconee in Greensboro, Georgia. Has a 4-shot lead. The dog's relaxing on the pontoon boat here. It seems to be that every family that lives here has a dog.
It's a prerequisite.
It's incredible.
Dog, a boat, and a kayak.
I know the 2 out of the 3 that you would have.
Yes, I would definitely have 2 out of the 3.
Reynolds Lake Oconee.
Catherine Kirk now for birdie at 13. Made a nice putt at the 11th. And a nice putt here. Catherine did 11 under, 2 under on her round today. Couple birdies on this 9. Been playing pretty good since the Women's Open at Troon. Getting to the 13th. Remember yesterday, Allie McDonald had a 4-shot lead through 14 holes. Now she has a 4-shot lead through 12.
But I think, Jim, though, when you have an experience like that in the 3rd round, you can learn from that and take it into the final round. It's better that happened then than in the 3rd round than here.
Yeah, I think she said that she... All right, we got away with their conversation. But she said that. She said it was no indication of the way she played the last 3 or 4 holes. because she had played solid all day and she wasn't going to get caught up in that. The thing she said when she took the lead, and I read her presser, she had to acknowledge that she was into the lead and not to get too far ahead of herself. I think that's the key for her. But for Danielle, she's got to make it go. She said she was going to be more aggressive. Hasn't quite been that way on the green shot.
Well, she's done exactly what she's trying to do now, just, 6 weeks ago in Toledo. So this is not foreign territory to Danielle, and she can get things to happen quickly.
Yeah, that ball just stopped quickly. Didn't get any rolls. How wet this fairway is. Everything kind of funnels down from both sides, right and left. Bianca will be next.
3-wood.
Yep.
That's center of the fairway. Probably won't roll much.
Yeah, a little bit more than Danielle's. Actually hit a little bit firmer than most, but
that was way in the air, and Danielle's was a low scream.
Yeah.
Bad break.
Absolutely. Now Allie with driver. 8 of 10 fairways, 45 of 52 for the week.
10-finger grip, you were telling me.
Yeah, 10-finger grip. She's had that since she was a kid. And
I love it, love it, love it, and I don't know why everybody doesn't do it.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. My wife actually switched to it, won her 12th state am, and she broke her hand, so.
That one's going to miss fairway right, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a big kick. Oh. That's going to, depends on the lie. That's knuckling down, and it's hard to bounce the ball up. The 13th, there's the 13th green. There's the final group back there in the fairway, except for Allie's out there in the right rough. She's got a 4-shot lead over Danielle Kang. I believe Danielle Kang will be first.
Total yardage will be 127, playing a little shorter.
All left to right.
Location in the front portion of the green, just about 3 or 4 steps behind it. The green really goes away back into a valley, so you really have to be precise here.
Last hole pitch. 126.
She's got that look again.
She does. She's very dialed in. She's very focused. She knows what she's got to do. I mean, Allie, she's looking pretty cool, calm, and collected out there today. She's sticking to her game plan and looks really on top of things. So Danielle's going to have to really bring the heat to this golf course.
A little wedge, very good ball location today because of the softer greens earlier in the week. That would have been really tough to get to. Just pulled a little bit.
Good looking shot. All right, got a good chance for birdie. So she's got a chance for birdie. She's got a tricky shot out of the right rough. And on back to Allie there. It looked like it was sitting down just a little, Jerry.
It's sitting down a lot. It's at the very bottom of the sod, bottom of the grass.
Yeah, the problem is in front of the green's so soft, and there is a knoll in the middle, kind of like a right towards the center of the green, so you can't. It's hard to bounce it up.
Likely.
Definitely some guesswork here. Gap wedge 114, ball sitting down. You're guessing how it's going to come out, if it's going to jump, if it's going to flutter, and then how it's going to be received just short of the green.
Short's the best play. Both sides have said that's where the drains fall off, so short's not horrible.
Oh, that just fluttered out of there.
Go hard.
I think typically you can rely on it being just a little bit softer coming out if the ball is above your feet, because you're going to hit more at the bottom of that grass, and therefore you're going to get more grass between the ball and the club. And with a lob wedge in your hand, there's just not enough. There's too much loft for it to get any jump out of it.
Bianca will be next.
Yeah, just 96 yards looks like her most lofted wedge. Got a little steeply. The good line needs to go.
Yeah, just caught up on the false front there, Tom.
I think a lot of people have great expectations for Bianca Pagdanganan as that ball just settles off the green. But we talked to her yesterday about her expectations for this rookie year.
Coming in as a rookie, there's definitely a lot of pressure. You think like you have to do something crazy or great just to prove that you deserve to be there. But one thing I did realize was that you don't really have to try so hard. And the only reason you got here was because you played your game. So after I played in the KPMG and ended up in the top 10, I was like, I think this is an eye-opener, and you have to realize that you are a good enough player and that you deserve to be here.
So we look at Bianca's bio here, rookie on the LPGA Tour. She mentioned that to finish at the KPMG Women's PGA, where she finished tied for 9th. That was her last start. Had that good collegiate career as well. And there's a dinner every year traditionally with the rookies and the members of the Golf Channel commentary team. And at that dinner, Judy Rankin always gives them the same message. She says, don't forget, you were good enough to get here. The game that you have now is good enough to get you here. Never forget that. That was very interesting hearing from Bianca and her attitude.
There he is. Second shot here at 15. Such a hard location to get. That's going to be one of the best shots of the day. This is right in a little bit of a valley. Knobs on all over the place, but she's strong enough to get it to spin.
Very similar technique wedge-wise between Bianca and Area.
Well, a little bit of work to do. It's really soft down there, Jerry. That's the hard part with this shot.
Yeah, but I mean, if she makes proper contact, which is never a given when you got a tight lay and it's really soft underneath, she's able to do that. The rest of it's not tough at all. Green is very flat if she lands it near her spot. Practicing that rehearsal, get the club to slide under the ball without digging.
Our short game instructor Tim Yelverson said focus on the shot, not the technical part of it, and a nice shot there. That looked a little more natural.
Check in with Mina Haragai. This for birdie at the 14th. Mina has never finished better than 5th on the LPGA Tour, and that was way back in 2013 in Taiwan. And the birdie there gets her to 12 under. She's tied for 3rd, so it could be a career best week for Mina Haragai.
Back to the 13th. Be kind of cool to have these boats every week. Just love the sounds of the excitement out there. We haven't had fans, but I feel like we've got quite a few out there. Bianca will be next.
Again, very flat portion of the green, not a lot of break, not a difficult one to judge the speed. Just slightly uphill on that first foot or so.
And I think too, when you think about Bianca, during COVID, she really sort of kept herself at home in San Diego with her dad. They were very strict and waited until everything opened up properly before they actually did anything. And I think in many respects, that's what's, why she's had a bit of a slow start, getting off to where she is now in terms of her ball striking, because all of a sudden last week at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, she caught fire with hitting greens in regulation. And now here she is again contending.
Well, she talked about those expectations as a personal journey, and it's got to be your expectations, not what everybody else expects of you or from you. Now Danielle will be next.
This could be a big putt, and it's not a tough putt. It's so extremely flat. Maybe a little bit of movement to the right, but it's right in her range.
Just a couple players earlier. You're right. There's not much in this. within 3.
At minimum.
Yeah, start putting a little more pressure on Ally McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Got it. Great stroke there. Released the putter head perfect there.
He was walking right after impact.
Well, if you remember yesterday, she made the putt at 15 for birdie when Ally had the 4-shot lead, and Ally had to make a putt similar length to save par. That's where Kang kind of made that little bit of a rally. There you go. Welcome back to paradise. It is paradise. We hope to be back. Ally to save par.
Not a whole lot to it. She has been seeing the line well. She has been hitting the line well. Her speed's been fantastic. Good combination for making putts, but maybe just a little bit more pressure on this one now.
Yeah, she's worked a lot on keeping her body quiet, allowing the club to swing around her. That's what she and Tim Yelverton have worked really hard on in her putting. That's why it's improved this week. One of the best putting weeks she's had in a long time. Nope, just tugged it.
Well, and if anybody knows, with this threesome, what's, how things go in terms of pressure coming down the stretch, it's Danielle Kang. You think about drive on and what happened with Celine Boudier at the end and letting Danielle take the title there. And then again at Marathon the following week, Lydia Ko goes ahead and kind of hands it to Danielle.
Look at this reaction. You think she doesn't want to get it done out there?
Yeah, that's what experience. That's what it takes. That's what makes elite players elites. That drive to be the best.
Well, they know.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt in her mind. She knows.
All right, nice par for Bianca. I think the key for Ally is to kind of not get ahead of herself, and Danielle Kang to stay aggressive. Keep that roll going. Made that nice birdie at 11 and 13. She knows what it takes to win. I think that's a big key. You kind of go back on it. Things you've done, the feelings you have when you're trying to win. You put the time in. You just got to trust your game. Area for birdie now at 15. Beautiful putt there. Only the 6th birdie today on this hole. Very difficult hole. Been the hardest hole all week. Hardest hole today.
Looking from above at the 14th hole, they've stuck the flag today over on the right side. The bunker and the water to some extent in play. Shouldn't be in play, should it, Lake Oconee? But it certainly adds some excitement to the proceedings with where they've cut the holes.
Well, if you're nervous because of the position that you're in this tournament, and you get onto a hole like this and there's water everywhere, it can definitely add to those butterfly feelings for sure.
Danielle Kang within 2 of the lead now.
Got one player that's been here, knows she can do it, knows she can come from behind, knows she can win in any situation, and one player trying to do it for the very first time who believes she can. But until you do it, Karen, do you really ever know?
You don't. And that's the great unknown you have. And what she said to you yesterday after her round is going to be so key for her, just to keep playing her game. No matter what Danielle tries to throw at her now, she's still got to keep play the same game plan as if she was still trying to do the best for her score, regardless of whether there's a trophy at the end of the day or not.
Seven-iron. Just doesn't think she can get the 8-iron there, so it'll be a smooth 7-iron.
See how aggressive Danielle Kang is.
Well, when she takes a little bit off it, she tends to not hit her bad shot this week, which has been the pull. It's a lot straighter shot. Didn't take much off it, and I think that's right where she was aiming.
She's staring it down. No wonder. It's a good tee shot.
Completely agree with you, Jerry. That was exactly as she would have dialed it up. Little left, little small fade.
Now Bianca, who has had pars all the way through the round today.
No signal yet from Brandon, but no more than 8 iron. Very similar line to Danielle's.
Just needs to stay there. So she'll have a look at her first birdie of the round. And now Ali McDonald.
I'm sure she's not all that aware of the environment right now, but what a setting this is for those of us watching. This is pretty cool. 7 iron for Ali.
There are no leaderboards out there, are there, Jerry?
No. A few of the caddies have been asking me, not Ali or Dan yet, but they are allowed to check their phones or their watches wherever they have the scores.
Yeah, the LPGA has a rule in place this year that the players can check the LPGA app. They're not allowed to search for anything else on those devices, but they can look at the scores if they so desire.
This one's pulled a little more than the other two. Should be safe.
Yeah, safely into the middle of the green, maybe a little too safe. Danielle Kang was joking earlier in the week about the fact that she never pulls out her phone during a round, but she did in the practice rounds here, not to check anything, just to take photos of Reynolds Lake Oconee. Danielle Kang putting the pressure on Ali McDonald. This, the birdie at 13, and she is within 2. We are back on the 14th with a scene that we thought might unfold at the beginning of the week. And local folks bringing their boats in to watch the action here at Great Waters, Reynolds Lake Oconee.
This is living the good life for the residents here, Tom.
They do live a pretty good life here, you gotta say.
We go to so many places that we say, you know what, I could just live here. I will go a step further, saying I could live out the rest of my days here and be quite happy because it's such a cool, laid-back way of life. That's not on the players' minds right now, as Ali sees grinding on a putt that's not easy to read. A little uphill early, downhill late, sliding right.
Over 3,000 properties here, 4,000 member families. Reynolds itself, 12,000 acres. It's only 1,000 acres smaller than Manhattan. It's a pretty big piece of property that snakes around Lake Oconee. There are a lot more golf courses here than Manhattan, though.
I would think so.
Yeah. Big putt this for Ali. They're all going to be big coming down the stretch. Should be a par, but of course Danielle Kang will have a putt to get within 1. Ali with that Solheim Cup experience, having taken the spot of Stacey Lewis when she withdrew because of injury. Many homes here dotted around. If you can, you want one that overlooks the golf course and the lake.
That would be the ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's top notch.
But you'd have to walk across the golf course to get to your dock to get into your boat for that.
It's one of those things. Now, Bianca.
She was watching Ali's putt very closely. Give her a good sense of what this does, especially at the hole when it dives a little right. Ooh, that hopped.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. It is going to miss. So just a 3 for Bianca. Travels with her father, and they have struck up a friendship with a chap named Jimmy Devantes, who's the restaurant manager here at the Overlook Restaurant at Great Waters. He's from the Philippines. He's been cooking them food, local food from back home, and she's been having a great time here at Great Waters. To 15.
Segunda's third shot at the par 4. Oh, beautiful looking shot. Getting better. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, wow. Makes bogey at 14, birdies 15, steals one there. Beautiful. We got to take another look at this shot. This is really good. Got to carry it just far enough, slide the club underneath, accelerates through nicely, hits just on the soft spot, and count it.
It's lovely, soft hands, wasn't
Yes.
it? Just no tension in that at all.
Back over to the par 3, where Danielle Kang has another chance here for birdie.
Very similar to the one she just told, maybe a little bit longer. This one, however, a slight bit faster down the slope, and if anything, inching to the right because it's so fast, has more time to do it. She is looking 6-8 inches outside the left, it appears.
Jerry, I think she's been better on the downhill putts that she's had these last 2 days.
Just to get within 1.
Here come the horns.
Yeah. And here comes Danielle Kang charging towards the top of the leaderboard. 15 under par and 3 birdies in the last 4 holes. Danielle Kang looking to make it a 3rd win in 2020 and a 2nd drive-on championship. Remember, the first was at Inverness in Toledo, Ohio. Ali needs to clean this one up. Okay. It's not going to be easy. She had a 4-shot lead standing on that 13th tee. The lead is now 1. Danielle Kang is on the charge here at Great Waters. It is looking like a close finish between these 2 players. Kang and McDonald battling.
Back at the 15th, Danielle Kang on the tee.
Feeling some adrenaline, Jim, because she got over here quickly and wasted no time getting ready to hit.
Yeah.
And no time hitting a good one.
Yeah, she's got that Dottie Pepper stare going right now.
That's a good analogy right there.
Well, and also that really quick positive move to that tee, like all of a sudden it's like she's trying to make Ali speed up as well in many ways.
And Ali's not a fast player.
She doesn't need to be. She needs to stay as she is.
When you were running for the first time, now you've had a 4-shot lead, now it's 1. What goes through? What are the emotions you go through? What's that mindset?
Well, I mean, obviously you're trying to get the job done, but you're trying to really stay and keep as calm and as stable as you can. And for me, when I was in that position, it was just really about hitting quality shot one after the other, regardless of what the other person was doing. That being said, the presence that Danielle Kang has on that golf course is going to make it more difficult for Ali because, I mean, even watching it on the TV screen, I feel like I could cut the atmosphere with a knife now. It just has ratcheted up the intensity significantly.
They were teammates on the Solheim Cup. That's a different atmosphere. You were teammates. Now you're not.
It feels like the last 2 holes, this has really come alive, this battle. This was Danielle Kang for birdie at 13 to get it to 14 under and within 2 of the lead because Ali McDonald missed this one. And that was a mistake, not getting it up and down. Drove it in the rough. It wasn't a good lie at 13. And Ali made bogey. And then on the 14th, Danielle Kang for birdie. And this was right in the heart. And that look of a champion that we've suddenly seen from Danielle Kang. She is really focused. so just one shot between them. And Ali has led all the way since a birdie at 9 yesterday. So Ali McDonald in charge at the moment. But we talked about this yesterday with her after the round. We talked about her plan for Sunday and the pressure that she will face today.
I'm sure tomorrow I'll have to be, you know, I'm not going to be on top of trying to figure out where I am, because I know if I start just worrying about too many things, then it's going to get me out of what I'm in control of, and that's myself. So obviously if I know we've got great players and people are going to charge, but I'm just going to go out and try to perform and execute shots. And I feel like if I do that, then what else can I do when it comes to the end of tomorrow?
It's almost as though she's doing everything she says she's going to do, but you can't do anything about Danielle Kang and the way she's playing.
No, you can only do what you can do. You've got to put the time in. You just got to trust what you're working on.
Ariya Jutanugarn for birdie at 16.
As the flotilla comes over from the other hole, left this a little bit further away than she wanted to. A good run at it.
It's an important week, though, for Ariya to give her a little more confidence. Speaking of confidence, I think the Seahawks will have some coming into tonight's Sunday night football. Big showdown in the NFC West. Arizona coming off a 3-game road trip and 2 straight wins, but dealing with a rested Seahawk team that's coming off a bye week. Arizona will look to make a statement, but it'll have to deal with the current favorite in the league MVP race, Seattle's quarterback Russell Wilson. It's all coming up tonight, 7 Eastern only on NBC. Should be a lot of fun to watch. Looking forward to it.
I didn't know you knew that much about the NFL.
Sneaky. I'm very sneaky.
You are sneaky. Danielle Kang sneaking up here on Ali McDonald. Looks like Ali will be next.
Yeah, Ali first to play, Danielle 1 yard farther away. This, members will tell you, considered to be the hardest hole on the golf course, primarily because of the green. Really perched up in the air and just runs off in every direction.
Yeah, this whole location kind of in a little bit of a bowl, but like you said, there's a kind of a knob in the front. They're all over this, and that's what one of the members told me yesterday. You're right. This has been a tough hole all week.
45, top of the ridge. I agree.
I have to think with the greens being a little bit softer.
Perfect right there.
Should be a little less scary if there is such a thing with this green.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, it took some of the teeth out of the green complexes, as it said, because they are a little more receptive. This is 7-iron. It'd be a good one. That's got potential if it gets back there.
Really rotated through there nicely. Beautiful shot.
What a way to answer.
Absolutely. Got to do it.
And playing first into the green.
It's getting to be a little match play. Danielle Kang will be next. Got it on the down grain mode part, which is always nice for this shot. Great view from above. Key here, Jerry, is to have almost the perfect yardage because you've got to carry it in such a precise place.
Well, she had 7 on the last hole, just passed it. This one's 6 yards longer, so I think it'll be the exact same club Ali just hit, and it should be a nice fit.
Jerry, Danielle Kang does a lot of things really well, but I think that mid to long iron shots that she plays, I'm not sure that there's a better player on the LPGA than her from 7-iron to 4-iron.
Ditto.
What makes this a shot hard is 7 steps to the left to fall off and about 4 steps to the right to fall off, so you got to be precise.
There's just such an air of self-belief to her right now. She not only thinks she can do it, she expects to do it. This is 7-iron. Tug just a little bit, fading nicely.
Good looking shot. Needs to get down. Just a bit unlucky. It hit a little bit on that downslope. It's still going. There you go. That's not right. That was a way better shot than that. As Jerry said, this is the toughest green on the golf course for that reason. She had a good shot, only so much you could do. But Allie McDonald with a one-shot lead. It's a decent chance for birdie. Will Kang get it up and down? Exciting finish. We'll be right back.
Do you remember the first person who believed in you? The person who said you can when others said you can't? The person who listened well and really heard you, who taught you, coached you, and cheered for you?
This is us, 1,800 LPGA professionals. We think golf is so much more than a game.
Eurofins, the LPGA's trusted and official testing partner, has helped the tour return to play safely by providing fast, easy, and reliable COVID-19 testing. Eurofins has 800 laboratories in 50 countries, which is essential for the LPGA's global tour.
We're in this to contribute. We're in this to help. COVID testing is accessible. All kinds of people who may not think that it's easy to get, and we want people to know that that's really what's at the mission for Eurofins and working with the LPGA.
16th hole, Mina Haragai with her second. Nice approach.
Well, and you know, you look at her swing, I mean, there's not much to not like about it. I mean, so simple, straightforward.
Hard to believe she's 139th in the world.
Oh, can only be belief and the 6 inches between her ears.
Now that shot right there would have been 6 inches further for Danielle Kang. It'd have been as close as Allie's. That's a bit unfortunate, Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely. She had a really good quality shot there and was penalized. She's pretty good at these shots, but this one's not easy because it's really tough not to land this in an upslope. And by doing that, now you have to judge how it's going to first bounce and release, and then the speed as it crests the little tiny slope and ends up going downhill to the hole. The lie is perfect, though. This is considered fairway cut, so she could lift clean and place it. Oh, just dug on her.
Yeah, it sure did. That was a bit unlucky. About 5 feet left for par. I think it would skip a little bit more than that, but it didn't. Brittany Altamari here at 17, playing 138 yards today. Her location on that right side. She's currently at 8 under par.
Well, this is just a smooth 8-iron.
Yeah, pretty accessible hole here.
Right on line.
Oh, I'd say. Good looking shot there, Gail.
A beautiful golf swing. Perfect yardage for that club.
Back at the 15th, Allie McDonald will be next.
Doing her lane point maneuver here to read the break. It's got me perplexed. It looks like it wants to just wiggle left off the putter and then end up dying to the right.
That's exactly what it does. I actually got on this one green a little bit earlier. It is a tricky read. It goes left, like you said, right at the end, falls right.
I played golf with you yesterday. Did you make it?
I would have missed it, yeah. I was rolling it with my hand, which I had a better chance than going in with my putter.
Huge putt.
Oh, what a good putt. Just didn't quite take the break. Stroke was good. The line was just maybe a little bit more outside. It's just a hard read.
Just a little softer, that drops.
Yep. Lydia Ko for birdie, Gail.
A little bit downhill back towards the front.
Did she? Hit it. Oh.
It's a good effort. She made a nice one on the last hole.
Couple under on her round, 9 under total. Inside the top 10, tied for 9th right now. Reachable par 5, 18th.
Been a great host hotel this week, the Ritz-Carlton, which is just about 15 minutes by boat from Great Waters, about a 20-minute drive. Great place to bring the kids for the weekend. Plenty of things for them to do at the Ritz-Carlton, including a nightly s'mores station, which is like a marshmallows throw away from my room. It's dangerous.
Yeah, you don't throw it very far.
I don't throw it very far, do I? No, it's right outside. Kids there getting their chocolate and marshmallow and crackers, putting them on the fire.
You with your sweet tooth as well.
My sweet tooth is very dangerous. I have to shut the curtains so I can't get tempted.
All right, Kang now for par.
Left center, left edge.
She tugged it again, Karen. Same
pull.
stuff. Yeah. Wow. She's been so good with it the last few holes.
She has been fighting it though,
Yeah.
and those downhill putts. The reason she looks comfortable on a downhill putt, she doesn't have to work hard. She's just trying to get the ball started and rolling over a spot that's like 6 inches in front of her ball.
Do you think that's the fact of trying to be too precise and not just?
No, this is a thing that she's got into that we've seen this week. That you see the putter roll closed, like
It shuts and then she almost recoils.
and you can feel it.
Yeah. Pagdanganan now for par, just left of the green. This to stay at 12 under. Oh, okay. Snuck in the right side. It's one of those days could have made a couple putts early here, but still has a chance. A lot of pars on that scorecard. Alley now for par. Okay. Par's a good score on the 15th hole. Toughest hole on the golf course today and the week. Stays at 16 under. And now Danielle for bogey. All right. Didn't get it up and down from over the green. Missed a short makeable putt. Makes bogey. Falls back to 2 shots back. McDonald with that 2-shot lead. Remember yesterday she had the 3-shot lead going into the 16th. It was just a moment ago. Area for birdie here at 17.
And Jim, just a little left to righter. Looks like she popped out of that one really quick.
She's done that a lot. That's the most emotion I've seen out of her. You can tell it's getting to her. A player at this level. Altamari now for birdie. I mean,
Never
normally
a-
just give her those, Gail.
Never a doubt.
No, she never misses.
Never a doubt.
Yeah.
We talked about the Ritz being a great place for the kids.
Oh, I love
There
it.
you go, on the beach. What's better than building sandcastles than just knocking them over?
Eating a s'mores?
Eating s'mores at the same time. Final group has reached the tee at 16.
3 wood for Pagdanganan.
Yeah, driver's too much, isn't it, Jerry?
Well, there's room down there to hit it, but it's not necessary on this hole. It brings the water into play. Actually, with 3 wood, she could still just about reach that water. However, not much roll in the fairways today.
No, and if you try and squeeze it down the right side, Tom, the out of bounds is there, as we saw yesterday with Kang.
Yeah, she said she didn't even know she'd hit it out of bounds.
No trouble with that one.
Yeah, that's not even close to the OB. There's the water that Jerry was talking about, Lake Oconee, just jutting in. Danielle flirted with the trees and took a couple of hops on the cart path, and then it was right into somebody's property. Now, Ali.
Only 2 fairways missed that I've seen. One was left on 9, one was right on 13. Driving it very nicely. And that one's up the right center to right edge. Should catch plenty of fairway.
And he's going to stay in the short grass. And Danielle Kang, of course, as you said, was the hole where she drove it out of bounds yesterday. Just too far down the right. Just going to feel a little hard done by with the bogey on the previous hole, having hit good second shot. Just got unlucky. Let's see if it has stopped the momentum in any way for her.
Good one.
Doesn't
Pretty
look
much
like
dead
it.
center.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Right down the middle for Danielle Kang. She chases Ali McDonald 2 shots back. Mina Haragai for birdie. Used to get it to 5 under for the day. Yes. Nice round of golf. 224 starts on the LPGA, and this could be her career best finish. It looks like it right now. She's only 3 behind. There's still a chance for Haragai.
For Rolex and women's golf, the commitment has spanned over 40 years. Supporting amateur events, professional tours, and all 5 majors. Dedicated to growing every stage of the game, Rolex will always be part of this enduring sport.
Everyone has a story I can learn from. To be fearless like her. To have the confidence to achieve my dreams. To know I am strong enough to do anything. To feel empowered and inspired to drive on. Drive on is a journey. Help me get there.
Nearly 100,000 girls are participating in LPGA USGA Girls Golf. It's about so much more than golf.
Looking down on the 16th hole, Great Waters, Reynolds Lake Oconee. This beautiful community that has 6 golf courses stretching around Lake Oconee. But the Great Waters is the one where the lake comes into play the most, certainly on the back 9. Danielle Kang, 2 behind.
Decisive, much less chatter between Danielle and Ollie right now. 151 to the hole. Down the hill is an 8-iron. Very gettable hole location today. She's going after it. Just left.
A chance for another birdie. Trying to keep the pressure on Ali McDonald. Folks watching from the lake. Great spot.
I'm just thinking stock pro, just a good shot.
Okay.
The edge of that boat is great.
Nothing negative ever comes out of his mouth. Nothing but encouragement from Dan. That is awesome. 9-iron. nicely struck. Great line.
Right at it. And right over the hole. She was staring that down. She knew it was good. Two players who are focused to the max. Kang and McDonald. Providing some really good play. It's not been Bianca Pagdanganan's day in terms of getting right into the hunt. She still has a chance. She's 4 back, but needs to start doing something. It's been all pars to here.
Been giving herself a ton of makeable. Give herself a ton of close looks, and the ones she's had, she hasn't been able to get anything to drop. But once she brushes up the scoring clubs as part of her game, and it's not far off, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long, long time. After a really hard gap wedge there, it looks good.
Below the hole.
Here a guy for birdie now at 17. This to get the 14 under. Within 2. Going break right. Did it? Oh, man, what a good putt. Under on her round today. 5 birdies, no bogeys, solid round. Reachable par 5, 18th.
Well, each day here at the Drive On Championship, an LPGA initiative has been highlighted, and today it's girls golf, and one lucky participant has had a front row seat this week.
Hi, my name is Ophelia Manuel. I'm 10 years old. I'm with Girls Golf Miami, and I'm here at the 2020 Drive On Championship at Reynolds Lake Oconee. It's so beautiful here, and we can't wait to see what we're going to be doing this week. What advice would you give to yourself? Good job today. You survived. Thank you.
Ophelia was handpicked by the LPGA to be a junior reporter. She has participated in press conferences. She's interviewed players, got to meet Solheim Cup captain, and has even hung out with the commissioner himself, Mike Wan. It's been a fun week for Ophelia. To the 18th, and Area Jutanagan's 4th gale.
Yeah, disappointing. Again, hit the ball in the water. Going for the green. This from 100 yards. Come on back. I thought I'd give her a great opportunity to save par.
Yeah, she's hit a few in the water this week, had 4 double bogeys. What might have been, but hopefully she will take some confidence from a week where she is going to record her first top 10 in just over 12 months.
Saganda for birdie here at the 17th. Just to get to minus 12. Just 1 under on her round today. Got it. Nice putt. It's a good birdie at the 17th. Birdies in the last 3 holes. Reachable par 5 for her on 18. Back to 16.
And could it be the first birdie of the day for Pagdanganan?
Not the toughest putt she's had. Just gently uphill.
This could be another par. It is likely to be, though, career best finish. I mean, she's coming off that 9th place at KPMG.
Pretty short career thus far.
Yeah.
It is. But it won't stand as her career best for long.
No. I shouldn't think so.
Yeah, she'll be on everybody's lips for a long time. Talking about her, talking about how she hits the ball, how she approaches golf.
She had back-to-back rounds of 65 at Aronimink, bogey-free. First time she'd ever put together back-to-back bogey-free rounds that she could remember on a golf course that some said was one of the toughest they'd ever played. Certainly one of the longest major championship tests that they had ever seen.
I'm looking forward to watching her play at Mission Hills for the A&A Inspiration. I think that golf course is would really suit her.
Likely to be in its traditional date. The LPGA has not confirmed its schedule for 2021 yet. That will be coming out in the next month or so. But we're expecting to be at Mission Hills in the traditional week before the Masters. Danielle Kang now for birdie.
Very, very similar putt to the one she made at 14 downhill with a little movement right.
She's had a number of putts on this back nine, similar distance, and she's made 3 birdies. It'll be another one. Is a par, and Ali McDonald will have a chance to give herself a 3-shot cushion with 2 to play.
Her caddy Dan just had a little chat with him on the side of the green. I said, I knew when you said stock I was a 9er, and he goes, I said, it almost tore the hole out. He said, yeah, just a little bit of adrenaline going right now, and it just goes a couple of yards farther. Happened on the tee ball as well, 11 yards past Danielle, and they've been neck and neck all week, and average-wise, they're right there next to each other. So she's feeling that adrenaline and performing well while doing it, extremely well. Just a little bit of right movement in this to make things a lot easier.
Yeah, that cushion, that 3-shot cushion, makes it more comfortable with 2 to play. And she's made it. And Annie McDonald moves to 4 under for the day, 2 holes away from a first win. Can she break into the winner's circle?
Are you still stuck at home, hanging out with your pets?
Hey everybody who's here.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I think we're going live.
When your life's work is teaching others,
So set up to the toilet paper.
Do not lose focus.
you find a way.
I could add him to my squat exercise. Let it swing on its natural arc.
We're the 1800 LPGA teaching and coaching professionals.
Boom!
To us,
Little half swings.
golf is so much more than a game.
Back at the 18th, and Lydia Ko has this for an eagle.
She does. Beautiful shot in here with the 5-wood. This will have a nice swing from her right to left. Just needs to turn a little bit more.
That's pretty good speed there. That'll be a tap-in birdie for Lydia, and it will be a round of 69, and at the moment looks like a tied 8th finish. It'll be her 3rd top 10 of the season. Remember what happened at the Marathon LPGA Classic when she double bogeyed the final hole to lose to Danielle Kang. Finished runner-up there, of course. It was a 6th place finish at the A&A. Shot 66 on the final day. And looking likely to be a top 10 here at Reynolds Lake Oconee.
Back at the 17th, I just sent a text to BJ Trolio, who's Allie's swing instructor, and I said, why do you call her QB, quarterback? He said, yes, she always wants the ball in her hands, and as an athlete, she's a playmaker.
Perfect. Yeah. Great one.
She was a basketball player in high school, very good athlete, and I think you see that, Karen. A lot of players that come out here now or more playing other sports more than ever, because it's okay to play other sports and play golf and be successful.
Right now, this quarterback needs to run out the clock, and that includes not taking any chances here. This is a 9-iron shot for her. There's a hint of breeze in. She's going with 8, and she's aiming it left. She has to be.
Her miss tends to be left if there is one.
Nice smooth 8-iron. Yet exactly as Dan coached her right there, I'm sure. 30 feet left. And no problem. Maybe a little farther left than she was aiming, though.
Yeah. That's what you're trying to do. Just get yourself out there, give yourself a chance to 2-putt. Great view. Been a good week here. Bianca will be next. She just could have made a few more putts earlier, as I said. She's learned a lot today, Jerry, about herself and being in this position again.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she doesn't feel comfortable here by any stretch of the imagination. You know, she didn't get things to go her way thus far, but she didn't try and force it. This is a 9-iron. This is right of the hole, little draw. Miles in the sky.
Okay, good shot, yeah. Good chance for making birdie. There's a little smile.
I'm 100% certain that she's going to feel just fine about this week.
Sure.
And she's just going to be grateful for every opportunity that she has. That's just the kind of person that she is.
I think that's what you learned your rookie year. Now Danielle Kang is going to take a dead aim at this one.
Yes.
I like what you said earlier. There's not a lot of conversation. She's committed and going right at it, whether she has the last 3 or 4 holes.
Well, when they typically, especially early in the week, talk a lot. It's got to be 8-iron. It is. Yeah, this looks good.
Very good. Wonderful shot. Good chance for birdie for Danielle Kang. Let's walk up here to the 17th. Let's go up to 18.
Area Jutanagan to scramble a par at 18. Going to be a closing bogey, and she is going to finish with a round of 69. Remember, she got it within 1 on that front 9 for the double bogey at 9. It's going to be a top 10 finish. It's going to be her best finish at the moment, her best finish for 12 months. Tied 6th. Looking down at the 18th fairway, and Graham has just dropped back to the penultimate group, and we may hear from her in a moment. But Mina Haragai just with her second.
This is the wrong person to
217. It looks like she's going to aim out to the right. Play it safe here, Karen.
I think this is a smart play for her. That would be a decent carry, and
yeah, looking likely to be a career best finish. Nice check for Mina. Didn't want to make a mistake on the 18th. This is a time where it's good to know where you stand when you're 4 shots back.
Yeah,
it's not really worth the risk.
No, and she's in a spot where she's going to make a good check, potentially best finish of her career. And
now Catherine Kirk looks like she is going for the green. Doesn't like it. She's going to find the putting surface. She's going to have a long eagle putt. Just imagine what it would be like when there are fans. fantastic atmosphere. The Drive On Championship came about, as we mentioned earlier, in just a couple of months. Part of the initiative for the LPGA Tour to add events to the schedule. It's worked out great. That gives you a great idea of the geography. There's 17th.
Be a great idea to come back. This would be a wonderful place. McDonald will be next for her birdie.
It's right at about 45 feet, going down a gentle slope, not a steep slope, and turning right the whole way. Just a putt you'd love to leave up there in the stress-free zone for par.
Absolutely.
You never know with her. She's putting it so well.
She is. I saw her mom, Angie, and dad, Jamie, earlier today. They were excited to be here. She said she feels comfortable here in the South. We're growing up in Fulton, Mississippi on a 9-hole golf course. Now has a chance to win her first LPGA event. I think dreams come true, but we'll see if it happens here, though. And it's her birthday.
Easy.
Yeah, it was firm from the get-go.
Yeah, it was. It's a good 6-7 feet by. Got her attention now. Especially with Kang in there close.
And it got Kang's attention too.
Yeah. Take a look here. Just catches a little bit of the lip, but it's way too much speed. Try to play that conservative shot, Karen, but you also left yourself a 35-footer, which is no gimme either. It's a 2-putt.
No, sometimes you use the quarterback term on the tee. The prevent defense may not necessarily come into play. I mean, she's striking the ball well. There was a little bit of room there to use.
Yeah, it's not that you're not trying to. You try not to win. You're playing a little conservative. It's always hard to do that when you've been pretty aggressive all day.
In many respects, though, the fact that the putt rolled past the hole, I think is a good sign, rather than a very tentative, trying to get it close kind of putt. I think she felt like she had a chance to make it.
While she was putting, Danielle was off to the side of the green, not watching, and just going through some practice strokes, working on whatever it is that she was able to fix yesterday after a couple of pulls. A really, really crucial time to hole one. Left to right putts the entire back nine. She's made a few too, but every single one has been that way.
Gotta go. Man, you could not leave it short. Has let her down. I know it's kept her in the game, but it's frustrating for the last couple of days. There's her reaction right there. That says it all.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't see her leaving it short.
I didn't either. If anything, hitting it hard and pulling it, but not leaving it short, Karen.
I think she's working so hard on that stroke. She's trying so hard to keep that putter going through the ball square and not releasing and turning over too much, that it takes it out of the feel for the speed.
Get too technical.
Yeah.
All right, Bianca now for birdie. Finally, there you go.
Unlike
Good
that, it
putt.
was completely free-flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Can't go all day without making a birdie. She's got a chance to make the eagle on the next hole and maybe finish out with a good finish.
No one likes to get shut out.
Well, he's got a lot of work left for her par.
She does. It didn't do hardly a thing as it went past the hole. This is almost dead straight, maybe right of center. Up the hill, she watched it. And, well, nobody's rolled it better today, have they?
No. One of the best weeks putting she's had in a long time. Just to keep a 3-shot lead. Tongued it just a little. Still not totally comfortable, but she has a 2-shot lead going into the 18th. Back with the finish.
Well, this is what Commissioner Mike Wan had in mind when he asked the local residents to support this event. Come out, bring your boats and watch on the 18th, and that is exactly what we're seeing. Nina Harrigai for birdie at 18.
She had to lay up, hit this in from 60 yards. It was a good effort.
Yeah, it's going to be a career best finish, though, for Nina Harrigai. Tied for third. Back to the tee, and Bianca Pagdanganan.
313 off the tee yesterday in the rough. That was impressive. Averaging over 301 for the week. That's never been seen before. That one was smoked. Similar line to yesterday. This should catch fairway.
It does.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. It's like, I mean, I guess the equivalent is when you watch Rory McIlroy on the PGA Tour. It's like watching Bianca hit drives here is like watching Rory hit drives on the PGA Tour.
And the peers will say the same thing. Hitting drives that they don't know how to hit exactly for the most part now. Down to business here. This is drifting a little farther right than she wanted. It should be okay. Whoa.
Okay.
Barely. So just missing that bunker on the left. That may mean that she can't go at it in two. Tough to tell. Now, Ali McDonald. Two-shot lead, 1 hole to play.
Yep, excellent tee shot there. No problem at all, and hit solidly.
Job 1 is done. Find the fairway. That gives her options. And she goes for the green in 2, lays it up down the right, plays safe. We will see. That's the view from the water. That's what they see out there on Lake Oconee. Today's coverage is brought to you by Reynolds Lake Oconee. Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. And by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
The South's premier multi-course community, Reynolds Lake Oconee, features 6 courses designed by legends like Nicklaus and Fazio. Located between Atlanta and Augusta and 1 flight from just about anywhere, this remarkable lakefront club community is home to some of the most challenging and picturesque golf in the world. With over 90 miles of shoreline, 4 welcoming seasons, and thousands of members from around the country, learn more about visiting for a weekend or a lifetime at reynoldslakeoconee.com.
72nd hole at the LPGA Drive-On Championship at Reynolds Lake Oconee. Ali McDonald with a 2-shot lead. And Danielle Kang just chatting with her caddy. What do you think, Jerry?
It's sketchy. I mean, it is such a sketchy shot to try and get there. 206 is the number to the front. And of course, that's all carry. I've seen worse lies, but it's not good.
I think it's the best way, maybe. Give it an opportunity. What about if we can play towards those people left at the TV tower and take a pitch across the green?
If I can't guarantee I'll cover, there's no point.
No. So I'll run out.
Either it's going to be absolutely perfect or it's in the water. Does that make sense? In general. Because technically I can cover 205, right?
Yeah.
So, like, all I can tell you is either it's going to be absolutely perfect or it's automatically in the water. Like, there is a chance I can cover it. I just can't guarantee it. If it's 205 cover along the entire thing, I know. Can't get myself to lay up. Did you get it?
Here's one thing.
Worth the risk, Karen?
I can't guarantee you I can't do anything. That's the only thing. So even if I'm wrong, I still have to shoot. Yeah. In that case, I might as well wait. Okay. It's not worth.
Just got to think, what is
Sorry, it's taking a while. My bad.
what is the best chance to make an eagle?
It's okay, just give me the number I like.
Yeah, exactly. Through on that tree is 197.
She's still planning on making eagle. She just knows she's going to have to hole a wedge shot now.
Ollie couldn't get the head cover back on that wood fast enough, and he had to do it twice. Oh, that's not where she wanted it. It's just okay.
McDonald's had quite a while to think about this second shot.
Her decision was made already.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, just a lap. She could get there easily. 188 carry, 194 hole. But why? Why risk it?
Tough to find a reason to risk it when you're ahead by 2.
Yeah, because the play would be long. And you got the bunker, and you're playing back down towards the water. There's no need for it.
Thin that just a little bit, but doesn't hurt you here.
I can't think that the third member of the group is going to lay up.
Not a chance.
No.
215 hole. Excuse me. 171 hole. Wrong yardage. I was trying to figure out the distance of the drive and gave up on that.
Chance for Bianca Pagdanganan to finish second here. Likely need an eagle.
Tee shot with today's yardage was 296. Plays a little uphill, very little roll. Again, 171 of the hole. This should be 7. On the grapevine, might have been 6, because that's carrying there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's carried all the way to that bunker, is it not? Yeah, in the middle of the bunker. Well, no danger there, but as you say, Karen, now playing back towards the water.
Go.
You know, and if you're Ali, there's no need for any of that. You play out to the right, you play a controlled wedge shot into this green, and give yourself another look at birdie.
Well, this week's aerial coverage is brought to you by Reynolds Lake Oconee, and we've had a great sense of the way the golf course snakes around the lake. Ali McDonald needs to take care of business here. Is there a safe way to play this, Jerry, out to the right?
Yeah, I would have liked to lay up 30, 40 yards farther and just take a little bit of that water out of play. No, safe to the right. It really isn't to play because the green's just the same depth there. If she flies this past the hole with spin, you got a backstop back there. He gets caught up in the rough, though, you're in trouble. It's a 90-yard shot. She's hit a million of these in her life. Just never one this important.
Perfect line. That's correct.
Talk about holding a putt to win. She knocks this one in close. It's pretty much guaranteed.
Good one.
And it's exactly what she needed. One hand on the trophy. And Danielle Kang needs to knock this in.
Don't be surprised if it has a chance.
Yeah, we've seen it before.
73 yards.
Needs to spin. Is it? Is it? Oh, that close. What a shot.
I tried. Oh, I thought it was.
I think a lot of people thought it was going to go in, including Ali McDonald.
Yes.
Whose heart must have been in her mouth about this time. That
Good
was
grief.
close. My word.
Oof.
She's screaming for it to go in. Danielle Kang coming that close to potentially tying it up on the 72nd hole. Ali McDonald will now have a putt for birdie. Let's take a look at today's closing round highlights presented by Guaranteed Rate. It's been a good battle between Ali McDonald and Danielle Kang. McDonald had a really nice run to start this back nine, Karen, where she looked very comfortable.
She was hitting some really good quality iron shots in, and then this now on the 11th, she played a really safe play out to the right, trying to catch the slope in the green, but making that long one where it makes no difference. Now on the 16th, Ali was really starting to feel the pressure from Danielle Kang at this point, and almost dunks it.
Kang with birdies at 11, 13 and 14, getting to within one, and dropped a shot at the 15th. Ali McDonald with that all-important birdie at 16. Dropped a shot as we saw at 17, and now with a chance to finish at 17 under par and put it away. The 18th hole here is built for that sort of drama, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, for Danielle, you know, missing the fairway by just a fraction really stopped her from giving it a go. And even Ali with her second shot, there was still drama involved in that. And, you know, I hope everybody watching, you know, would feel those goosebumps for her.
Bianca played out of the bunker to here, so this for birdie.
Yeah, incredible bunker shot. A nice way to finish.
A couple of birdies to finish and a career best for Bianca Pagdanganan, but as Jerry mentioned, that won't be a career best for very long, we don't think, with her game and her talent and her skill. Wouldn't be surprised if she's a winner very soon. McDonald taking a few deep breaths, taking in this scene. Danielle Kang is going to go first.
Ali was going to go, and Danielle said, no, this is going to be your moment. It's kind of cool.
Classy. Well, Danielle knew that when that shot didn't go in, that her chances were fading very, very quickly. And gave it her best effort. And this for birdie to finish with a round of 68. You can't fault Danielle Kang much over this closing day. She'll think about the putt that she left short at 17, but walk away with a really good week's work. 68 on Sunday for the two-time winner this year. Now Ali McDonald to cap it off with a birdie. This should also be for a round of 68. Easing it down there. Two putts will do. And Ali McDonald is a winner on the LPGA Tour. LPGA Drive On Championship at Reynolds Lake Oconee champion.
Thanks, Danielle. Thanks,
Fantastic scene. And now the celebrations will begin.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Take a look at the updated standings in the race to the CME Globe. Ali McDonald moves up inside the top 10, up 27 spots to 8th. Danielle Kang just shows you how well she has played this year. Is clearly out in front as we head towards the CME Group Tour Championship and the season-ending event on the LPGA Tour. Ali is a winner, and she will shortly be talking to Jerry.
An emotional hug with Mom and Dad, Angie and Jamie, and a lot of emotions flowing through Ali right now. Ali, best birthday present ever?
It's definitely towards the top, that's for sure.
Yeah. How were you able to handle things when they got close, especially when the 4-shot lead shrunk to 1 in just 2 holes?
I'm not gonna lie, it shook me up pretty bad. I had to really gather myself and get my heart rate under control after I made bogey on 13 and Danielle went back-to-back on birdies on 13 and 14. So I just told myself to calm down and do what I've been doing every single round, and that's just trying to execute my game plan and control what I can. And I knew from the start that Danielle was gonna hang in there, and you kind of go to match play mode and you think absolutely she's gonna put the pedal down. So I was just happy to hang in there and pull it out.
You believed you could do this, but till you do it, you really don't truly know, do you? And you hit some incredible shots when things got tight. What'd you learn about yourself there?
Just the resiliency that I have. I've never doubted my ability, but have definitely questioned whether I would be able to win out here. It's really hard to win out here. So I've just really hung in there and tried to stick with my process since day one, and that was able to get me in the winner's circle today. So I'm really thankful.
Congratulations! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Certainly is a very happy birthday for Ali McDonald. That was the hug with Mom. There's Dad. And they know how much this means. What a great moment for the family. Ali McDonald coming off a career best finish on the money list last year. Of course, played in the Solheim Cup in the cauldron of match play. Played in that penultimate match. And knows what it's like to battle against some of the best players in the world, and she battled against Danielle Kang today and came out the winner. Well, coming up next, Golf Central pregame begins our final round coverage of the Zozo Championship at Sherwood. LPGA Golf returns to Golf Channel on November 19th with the opening round of the Pelican Women's Championship from Bel Air, Florida. Many thanks to Karen Stopples, Jim Gallagher Jr., Jerry Foltz, and Gail Graham, who joined me, Tom Abbott, in commentary here at Reynolds Lake Oconee, where Ali McDonald leaves as an LPGA winner. What a fine performance it was on her birthday.